beauty, I'm a pretty bitch. Got too quiet, now they're whispering. If you blink, then you might miss it. Every hour is a week. I don't need sympathetics, I just need some room to breathe. Do not fucking talk to me, my genetics got me tweaked. Running from myself, I can't blame them when they leave. Time slips away, burn out the fade.
Mind me reapplying my lip. Much better. I feel a little bit more put together, although like I am super shiny, and this is what I get for not starting this video earlier. It is what it is. And it's so hot the past few days. So welcome back to another vlog. This week it's definitely going to be bookish. There's going to be a lot of books this week, you guys. So kind of caught, I guess, the tail end of my last one or two vlogs. They were a little sporadic, and then towards the end, I wasn't super present because there was a good solid couple of days where everything kind of went off the rails for me because our AC went out, and we're currently like in a heat wave. It's been intense. I think the heat wave actually ends tonight, and then it's just gonna be regular like freaking hot summer weather anyways. But we're like in a severe like heat wave right now, and then our AC goes out on top of that, and it was a rough couple of days. And our house is like AC now that it's fixed, it's like still trying to like catch up with itself, and it's just been miserable. I haven't been feeling the greatest too on top of that, so I'm just kind of like over here slowly melting away, and just, yeah, I had to put everything on pause, including my 100 days of makeup. So today was my first day kind of jumping back into things, and that's why I'm a little late like getting to vlogging, because I had to film this. It's the last day of June today, and I hadn't filmed my like Ipsy and BoxyCharm yet this month, so I had to film it, edit it, and get it posted, and then post this look over on my Instagram for I think day 8 I think I'm on. So I was going to jump on earlier and do my intro, but I'm kind of been on a time crunch too, because it is the first day of the, well, it is now the 24-hour Horror-A-Thon. I should be reading right now, but I wanted to jump on here and vlog. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get any sleep tonight or not, because my TBR is kind of stacked. I'm so far behind posting on Goodreads, on my Instagram with book content, with a lot of things, you guys, so I'm trying to like catch up on stuff. But okay, that was it. After the like romance books I read since then, fantasy and horror have been doing me well, and it has been amazing. Like, it's been at least 4 stars and even 5 stars. So I am like, I think after going in kind of like a little bit of a reading slump with some of those books, I now am like picking up the pace and like feeling so good about reading. So it's been quite the time, and that's why like I am kind of tired, but I'm like, I could stay up and read some more. But I thought I would at least jump on here and do an intro with my makeup still on, somewhat decent, because I want to talk about the Horror-A-Thon. I do this every other month. I participate anyways. You guys can check out Ashley from Ashley's Little Library here on YouTube and Instagram. Also, the 24-hour Horror-A-Thon has an Instagram page as well as the Discord if you want to get on there and talk to people, because there's a buddy read. There's also a movie watch party. And since it is June still, it is Pride Month, and so it is very Pride queer related. Our buddy read pick is this is Where We Talk Things Out by Caitlin Marceau, and it is a queer author, and so it fits right into the category for this month. And also the watch party is like the following day, because it starts at like 8 p.m. I think Eastern time, and then yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and goes to 8 p.m. Eastern time, and then at 8 p.m. Eastern time on the Sunday of it, or the Saturday of it, sorry. Yeah, it's usually Friday to Saturday, but right after the 24 hours is over, there is a watch party, and the movie is Raw, and I think it's on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. That is the plan for the next 24 hours. My TBR, you guys, I I actually have made a dent in it because I actually started my 24 hours a little bit earlier. I always like that they Ashley starts the sprints at 7 my time. So usually I like to jump in with the buddy read because I know that's what she'll usually be reading and a lot of other people, so we can kind of discuss it a little bit. Or kind of both be like knowing like what's going on with the buddy read. But I started a couple hours early because I had the audiobook for What Moves in the Dead. So I listened to this like while I got ready today and did other things, and then I ended up only having about, I think about like 30-ish pages left. And so during the first sprint, I finished this, and then like I had to wrap up some things like with my BoxyCharm or my Ipsy BoxyCharm. I had to wrap up some things. If you guys want to check out this look in that video, I'll link it up above. But yeah, I had to wrap things up with that. So I was able to do that and finish this in the first sprint. So in the second sprint, I started, this is where we talk things out. But this one is What Moves in the Dead by T. Kingfisher. This is my second T. Kingfisher, so now I am definitely looking into doing 3 books by T. Kingfisher. So stay tuned for that. I really, really like this, and I've seen so many mixed reviews. I feel like there is people who, and this is the weird thing, is I felt like a lot of people who actually like T. Kingfisher's work, they didn't really care for this one. And getting into it, I was like, okay, this is a little slow. I think it's like, it takes place in like, was it 1890, I think? And so I was already like, oh, this might be a little bit too, like, you know, I don't mind like past century books, but I feel like sometimes even if they're currently written, they are slowed down so much because of the way that the people talk or the way that just things are. I don't know, like I feel like it takes forever for the characters to do anything too, and then like the way that they talk kind of just sometimes just like, I don't know, it doesn't always mesh well with me. It has to be done correctly, and while I do find that there were parts that were a little slow for me, at the same time, it's such a short read that it was so easy to like blow through, especially with the audiobook, and I really enjoyed it. I thought that the story was so good, and I can definitely see where people talk about T. Kingfisher kind of like being almost like a silly, I don't even think it's like silly. When I think of like, I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess I would say, what is the other one I'm trying to think of that she just... House with Good Bones. I read it in April, and yeah, that one I felt like definitely is, like people are saying, kind of almost Grady Hendrix style of like that silly horror that's just kind of like wild and just like, okay, we really went there. But this one I just found, instead of silly, I found it just creepy and eerie, and I loved the mix of things with it. It's also because I love reading like the reader's note and stuff, and she explained that this is actually, I think, about a past book, if I'm not mistaken, going into this, or that it kind of already kind of follows along with that, just her own take of the story and own twists and turns with it. But I really liked it, and this is a like spore horror, hence like the cover, but I gave it 5, you guys, and I did not need to simmer on it or anything. Like I finished it and I was like, I like the silly, strange horror. It's a 5 for me. I just really, really enjoyed it, and especially I feel like halfway through to the end, I was just hooked, and I kind of was even like guessing as to what a lot was going on, but it just kept drawing me in, and there was like, she's just so good at creeping you out too with certain scenes, and I just really, really loved it. I love the way she writes. It is so beautiful. I'm super impressed with her work so far, so I will definitely be picking up some more from T. Kingfisher, and cannot wait to read them. My second book this is where we talk things out, and I did start this on the second sprint, and we did 3 sprints, 30 minutes today, a piece, and so I read it through the second sprint and the third sprint. Unfortunately, I was not able to finish it. It was like trying to, you know, round my kids up for bedtime and stuff too. So I had to take a break from it for a little bit and then come back. And yeah, I finally wrapped it up a couple minutes ago, and I do feel like I'm simmering on it a little bit. It's very weird and eerie. If you've seen a clip in one of my past vlogs, I was talking about the anthology, the horror anthology Isolation, and how I read like 2 or 3 stories in it, and I was like, I'm gonna take this back to my library and then pick it up in the winter time, because I just feel like it is those vibes. That's what this was to me, because it's like a secluded cabin in this snowy place, and it's a girl going with her mom trying to like work things out because they have like an estranged relationship, and a lot of weird things start happening, and it reminded me so much of the first story in that anthology that I was like, I'm just getting these vibes the whole time. And they are very similar in ways with different aspects. I can appreciate, I think the writing style was good. It definitely gives you also kind of like Misery vibes. I mean, it was a good short story. It was just, I read it like the little book, like graphic novel. It had pictures and stuff too. So it came up at about, I think, 105 pages total for like the ebook copy or whatever. But I think if you get like the paperback, I think it's only like 80 something pages. It's really short. Really easy to read and fly through, but yeah, it's a little unhinged. There's definitely triggers, and all in all, I think I would give it a 4. I don't think I would give it a 5, just because I feel like some of the reveals were so predictable so early on that I wish that it wasn't that, you know. I kind of questioned things a little bit towards the beginning, but it almost like automatically clicked, and I kind of seen that a lot of other people were also feeling that way too. So yeah, I just feel like it was kind of very telling at some points of just giving a little bit too much information, or almost like it was trying not to, but it was just kind of like a dead giveaway. So I do agree with some that I wish that there was more horror to it. I think for being a short story and what we got, I really liked. It was a very more like, almost like realism, where it could like actually happen type of ordeal. So there wasn't like any silly strange things going on here. I mean, to an extent. Yeah, I think it handled everything pretty good, and I actually love the way that it ended. I felt like I don't want to give anything away, but I felt like it was going to go in the other direction, like the opposite of how it did end, and I think I would have been more bummed if that would have happened, and I probably would have only given it a 3. But it's a 4 for me. So now it is almost midnight, and my kids are in bed, and I'm pretty sure James is asleep too. So I'm like, do I go to bed or do I stay up and read some more? And that's when I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna pick up my next on my TBR. So the next one up is Curse of the Reaper by Brian McCauley. So this, trying to think, I think it's part of the Dark Hearts book club, and I think this is actually their pick for Amy's pick for this month. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is, and it's a little beefier than what I remembered, so I'm kind of like, oh no. But I do have the audiobook on Hoopla as well, and I literally, you guys, have only read like the first couple of pages, and it's kind of set up as like a script. It's Night of the Reaper in 1980, and it says script pages, and it like has like the characters. What I think was so funny is that there is a character, I don't know if you guys can see it, Axel, and it says, what the hell's a Reaper? And I'm like, yep. My youngest is Axel, and this character definitely reminded me of him. But it is like just a script of like, I guess like a horror film, and then it goes into part 1. And I was kind of actually enjoying this whole scripts thing, so I kind of wish, like, now flipping through it, oh, it is like that. Some parts are like that. But I actually was enjoying that. I was like, okay, that's different. I kind of like that. So I don't know. I'm excited though. I'm already so intrigued by this. So it looks like I'm going to be up for a little bit. I'm also seeing some authors on the back that I've read from and liked. So yeah, I'm really excited to keep reading this and try it out, and I will be getting a book club pick out of the way. And then my fourth book that I'm hoping maybe I'll get to is The Ruins by Scott Smith, because this is part of the horror summer camp hosted by Spookish Mommy, Ashley. She also does the true crime book club I follow, but she's doing a 3-month horror summer camp, June, July, and August, and the June pick was The Ruins. So I've never read it, and I hear it's like pretty much a classic, and so yeah, I am excited to read that one as well, and I have it on audio as well, so it'll definitely help me. Even if I do go to sleep tonight, tomorrow it can just kind of be like a chill Saturday, maybe get some chores done and listen to audiobooks. But I'm gonna leave you guys there because I feel like I've been rambling for so long. I kind of just wanted to give you guys the details of what I'm up to, but yes, very bookish vlog. It's gonna be very summer horror. I think that might even be what I call this vlog, because we have the Horror-A-Thon this weekend, but we also have Summerween this coming week. So I think I'm just gonna continue the vlog and just make it a full summer horror week, and I'm excited about it. After this 24 hours, I think I'm gonna take a day or two to like plan out my Summerween, hosted by Gabby from Gabby Reads. I'm going to plan out my TBR for that. But yeah, I will check back in with you guys probably later tonight if I read some more, or I'll check in with you guys tomorrow on how my reading is and if I complete all 4 books for this 24 hours. Good morning, you guys. I look pretty rough, but I feel good. Like, I've started off the day strong, although I did sleep in some. James just got back from a Starbucks run, so I've been sipping on my latte, feeling a lot better. I'm coming back to life. I ended up staying up until like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and but I got through half of The Curse of the Reaper, and so I got about the halfway point, and I was like, okay, I think that's good. I think I'm gonna go to bed. So I did, and I did sleep in a little bit because I was so tired. But once I got up this morning, because it's now like pretty much almost afternoon, but once I got up this morning, I put the audiobook back on and I just laid in bed. I grabbed my book and just like followed along with it because I was like, I am so tired. If I just listen to the audiobook, I'm probably gonna fall asleep, but if I just read the book, I'm probably gonna be rereading pages over and over again and being like, what just happened? So I decided to turn the audiobook on, listen to it while skimming through the pages and reading along with it. And it really helped. Not just that, but this story is like so engaging. Like, I automatically was like, I'm sucked in. I have to know, you know, what happens. And so The Curse of the Reaper is, now that I have finished it, because I did finish it this morning, I'm super excited about it, but pretty much it's following this guy, Howard, who played a killer in a slasher movie in the 80s. So it's like an 80s horror, 80s slasher movie, and he played the Reaper in this horror franchise. And it's a big one, like Halloween and Scream, where it goes on for like 8 movies. And now I think it's like in 2006-ish. So it's still, I loved that about it. I love the fact that it was like, takes you back to like the scripts, because the beginning, I think I might have showed it yesterday, but like the beginning is like 1980s, and it's like a script. So between each parts, because there's multiple parts of this book, and then there's the chapters within those parts. So to divide each part and section it off, there is a script from each of the movies as it goes, and it's so cool. The audiobook's phenomenal, but I love slasher movies to begin with. I love horror movies, scary movies, and I think that it was so well written, and it really takes you back and makes you like just want to put on a good slasher movie, which I kind of want to do. I know tonight they're doing the watch party for Raw, but I'm like, after reading this, I really, really want to watch slashers this week. Like, I am like, oh, I definitely am going to be watching some horror movies this week. I mean, you guys know I have my Freddy glove right here. I have Ghostface. Like, this was just the book for me. I really liked it. It's almost like Howard is trying... Now Howard in 2006, which I kind of got off my tangent, but I really liked that it was more like 80s, 90s, 2000s and not like current day. I love that touch with it. It just, the nostalgia, you guys. But Howard is now dealing with the fallout of his life of being a beloved celebrity that now has not been in the like limelight for years because the 8th movie wrapped up so long ago. Now they're going to be doing like the Reaper, I think it's like the Reaper Reborn or something like that, but they're thinking about like casting a younger kid as the Reaper. And like Howard is so upset about this, and like they make him have to like audition for like the part even, and it's like just like really weird. But we kind of bounce back and forth between Howard's point of view and Trevor's point of view. And Trevor is a young celebrity in the limelight struggling with substance abuse, and so there is some triggering things there if that is anybody's trigger, but he is in a relationship that he's, you know, trying to work on. He's dealing with, again, going to like an AA meeting type of ordeal and be a celebrity in the limelight and trying to not like relapse, and he is being offered this role to play like the Reaper. But meanwhile, Howard is like coming to terms with like just pretty much like where the chips have fallen in his life, what life he has now. And he's also experiencing some like almost like a psychotic break. So it's like he's kind of losing his mind a little bit, and it's just such, that in general is such like a wild ride. But I think all of it just coming together into a slasher novel is just, oh my gosh, it was such a fun time. And I actually last night was like, oh my gosh, this is a little bit beefier than what I remember, which it isn't. It's literally 321 pages, but for a 24 hours readathon, with already, I had my 2 other books I finished, and then this one, and then knowing I have a 4th one, I was a little worried, but I flew right through this last night and this morning because I was so hooked. I just had to have those hours in between to recoup and sleep a little. But I'm back at it today, you guys. I have my sweater on. It's actually chilly. The heat wave is over. It's super windy outside. It hasn't started like storming yet, but I think it's coming and I am so excited, you guys. But yeah, I'm going to sip on my Starbucks and wake up a little bit more. And then I'm going to be starting The Ruins. I believe I have it on my script. Yes, by Scott Smith. Narrated by Patrick Wilson. It says it's like about 6 hours, but I usually listen on 2 to 3 times speed, so I'm sure that's going to dwindle it down a lot. Now, I did see that I think there's like, I don't know, is it like a longer version or like an uncut? Is it kind of like what Stephen King did with The Stand? I'm not really sure, so I'm kind of like, should I just listen to it? But it's like, it goes from 6 hours to like 14 hours, and I was like, I don't know if I have enough time for that for the 24-hour Horror-A-Thon, so I think I'm going to stick to the original and try it out. So I'm about to start The Ruins. And I will check back in a little bit and let you guys know what I think of it.
There's a mosh pit, think I might have lost it. I'm starting to believe there's only one way I can stop this. If pain is beauty, I'm a guillotine. Yeah, you bring the match, I'll bring the curse.
Let the counterpane say suffocate me in my sleep. I don't wanna wake up, all memories all they eat. Do not fuck
Don't mind my outfit. I've just been kind of casually wearing black tank tops every day, and then today is the first day where we had like a storm. It was mainly just windy, but we got a little bit of rain throughout today, but I have just been rocking the sweater all day, being nice and cozy. But you guys, this look, my beauty lights are not on anymore. It's just the overhead light, so it's a lot more yellow tone. But I went through, I actually don't have the makeup I actually used, but I have one of my drawers here that's filled with like a bunch of my single shadows and stuff, and now a bunch of used makeup brushes. I need to wash makeup brushes this week. But I want to check in because the 24-hour Horror-A-Thon for June going into July is officially over. I did not catch the watch party tonight on Raw, so I'm hoping to watch that this week sometime, and then I'll let you guys know my thoughts. And if I forget to let you guys know my thoughts, because I am kind of thinking about watching a lot of movies because there's a lot more on my radar now. I do have a letterbox, so it is linked down below if you want to check it out, and I'm going to try to get better about updating that like I do Goodreads with books, because I definitely have been trying to watch more horror movies lately. So yeah, I did finish The Ruins though, and I don't know, I feel like this has been such a successful 24-hour Horror-A-Thon for me, especially compared to the last one. I actually completed my TBR in the 24 hours. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I read so much. So What Moves the Dead, I gave 5 stars. Curse of the Reaper, I gave 5 stars. What is it? You guys, I can never remember the name of this book. And it's literally the buddy read. This is where we talk things out. I gave 4 stars, and I'm kind of leaning on 4 stars for The Ruins, but I'm also kind of like 3 stars. I don't know, I just felt like I didn't really care for like any of the characters. I kind of felt like they were just being not very smart with every single decision made, and it just was like a lot of just confusing parts, and I feel like it took a little while. I don't know. Then I would say if you're going to try it for the first time and you've never read it, maybe try the audiobook, because I don't know how that would differ for me with the book because I didn't have a physical. I just had to do the audio for this one, unlike the other ones I've been reading. So with this one, I felt like the narrator was very enthusiastic, not in an annoying way, but like in a way to where it felt like I was reading a thriller the whole time, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be on the edge of my seat, which kept me awake, kept me into the story. But I do feel like there's a good portion of this book that is rather slow. There's not a whole lot going on besides like, I don't know, getting to meet these weird people, but also it's kind of like one of those like vibes where, again, kind of like one of those survival video games where you're kind of being introduced to all these people. A lot of them are annoying and stuff like that, and then you slowly like watch them all like start dying and like who's gonna survive and that type of ordeal. So it definitely is like a survival horror, which I do really like. But yeah, I don't know. There was just so many, I feel like, pointless things, and I actually seen somebody, because this is actually, I actually mentioned it, but this was for the horror summer camp. Yeah, and in the Discord for that, because I got on there, I was like, what is other people thinking right now? And I got on there and I started like reading through, and somebody said like there's a certain scene in the tent with a guy and like the 2 girls, and it was just so pointless and just like, what? And like, I don't know, there was just so many different action shoes, and she literally put like, me a man wrote the survival horror without telling me a man wrote the survival horror. And it was just, oh my god. It was, I don't know. I don't really like how the women, I guess, were portrayed in this as kind of just like not going to be able to hold their own or, you know, whatever. But it really does like hit a nerve with you on it being a survival. Like, it's almost like Survivor, like, but like actual out in like this wilderness, and stranded and trying to survive and trying to figure out what's going on, and you get desperate and you have to start doing things to survive. And I do know that this is a movie, so you may have even seen the movie. I have not personally, so that's on my list, as well as Raw, since it was the movie pick for the buddy read. I do want to watch it. I did see that apparently it's not on Netflix now. It just got taken off, which bummer. But I might have to rent it or something. And then The Curse of the Reaper mentions so many favorites, and even in the end, he credits Wes Craven, who is Scream, I think the first, 5 Screams, and then Robert Englund, which is A Nightmare on Elm Street, and a lot more. So I'm kind of like wanting to watch some slashers this week. Raw, the 24-hour Horror-A-Thon movie pick, and then also The Ruin, since I read that. I feel like Misery would also be a good pick, but I'm going to be reading Misery this winter, so I think I'm going to wait for the movie then. But yeah, besides that, I'm going to leave you guys for a day or two because I need to recoup personally. Tomorrow and the next day I have editing to do, and I need to catch up on some looks, so I'm not literally posting day to day because it's getting a little tiring. But yeah, today I was inspired, I'll throw up the pictures, by Brian O'Connor. He is the hairstylist and makeup artist for Hayley Williams from Paramore, and they're on tour right now. He did this makeup for her during Pride Month, and I missed my mark. I was actually going to do this look for Pride Month, but then our AC went out, that whole ordeal. So I still decided to go ahead and do it because I was so inspired by it. I thought it was so freaking cool, and why not? We celebrate Pride all year, so yeah, I wanted to still do it. I thought it was so much fun, and I was able to really get outside my comfort zone, and doing makeup again that doesn't really like have to just be, you know, symmetrical or like the way it's supposed to be, and I got to really have fun with a bunch of single shadows, eyeliners, and that type of ordeal, and yeah, I had so much fun. I needed a day just to be creative and just do art versus trying to think of a new way to do eyeshadow on the same lids every day. I hope you guys enjoyed my little tangents and stuff for the Horror-A-Thon. Like I said, I'm not ending this vlog. It's just going to continue into Summerween. But let me know if you guys have read any of these books that I read for the Horror-A-Thon.